The Hash It Out Show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Black Hawk Hauling, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, Wags Food and Culture, Moe's Pizza, The Green Law Firm, Personal Injury Attorney, Drums Earwear.
Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, your sports guy. We got a big show for you all tonight. Thank you all for joining us. Before we get to our special guests, I have my two co-hosts that you can catch on CrescentCitySports.com. First up, the one and only VK Jones. What's up, VK?
Good evening, everybody. What's going on? Like, tag, and subscribe to the Hash It Out Show on all social media platforms. And plus, we have our own website now. We have launched the Hash It Out Show website on the hashitoutshow.com. That is the hashitoutshow.com, where you can take a look at everything, all our content, our bios, and then some, bro. We're growing and growing. We definitely appreciate the support and continue to support the Hash It Out Show. We got a lot of stuff going on tonight, and then we got a very special guest that I cannot believe I'm calling him head coach, man. I just cannot believe it. But it's not the first time. I didn't see it with plenty of players that I played with and covered.
Also, our other co-host, George Peppers. What's up, GP?
Not too much, yeah. And piggybacking off what BK said, yeah, we got a pretty big show tonight and stole my thunder. I really wanted to be the one to pop the website thing. Yeah, the hashitoutshow.com. Check it out. Personalities, but we mesh so well together. And this show just continues to grow and everything about it, including the games that we do. In our game of the week this week, we announced it in a different location, but we have a correction on the location this week. Sophie B. Wright and Patrick Taylor. We thought the game would be at Memphis, but Higgins is playing there Thursday night. So instead, we'll be heading to New Orleans. Mars Bertolino Playground is where we're headed Thursday night. VK 6 o'clock pregame. They play at 6:30 or 7
6:30.
in New six. Oh, it's in New Orleans.
They're in Kenner.
Oh, it's Kenner. That's right. JP rules. I got you in Kenner. Correct. All right. So that's what we got Thursday night. But tonight, let's roll. We got a heck of a special guest tonight.
Most definitely. This guy, our special guest. A lot of y'all know I have a lot of family in Lake Charles. And I've been trying to get some Lake Charles coaches on the show. And finally, we got our first one. History being made. But this guy here, he's kind of from where I'm from almost, out of Belle Chase. Broke my heart some years ago. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit. But this guy here has changed the culture, and he has a winning program now at St. Louis Catholic High School. Our special guest, head coach Brock Matherne. Coach, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I appreciate y'all having me on, man. I enjoy working with anybody that covers this great game of high school football, man. So appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate you. Coach, I gotta start off back in 2008. I
Yeah.
have to. You were part of that state championship football winning team, the Bell Chase Cardinals. You defeated your rivals, the Archbishop Shaw Eagles, who had beat y'all early in the year, but you guys got them back 28-7. Reminisce about winning that state championship against Shaw the Dome.
Man, that was a special year. You know, my brother over there at quarterback. You know, a lot of those players on that team grew up in Lower Plaquemine. You know, so we all kind of grew up together. Some of us never thinking we was going to get a chance to play together, and you know, to be able to come together and have such a great coaching staff we had at Bell Chase, with Coach Becknell, Coach Harrison, Coach Jeff Bourgeois. Man, the list goes on and on. You know, you just felt that it was a very special year. But that Superdome game, I mean, when we went up there and beat Bastrop, and we got the rematch, you know, we was excited. We was happy about that. We wanted that. We felt like we let one get away. You know, in that earlier matchup in our first game of district, and they beat us, I think, 28-27.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that was the only game that Blake had over one turnover. And we ended up losing 28-27. And he just came in that locker room like, look, if y'all think we're about to lose again, then get out. And, you know, we was in with them. And it took us to that point. So, yeah, man, that Superdome was great. That was great.
I read that winning a state title is what led you to want to become a coach. How?
Man, you only can know what I'm saying if you felt it. Man, it's like nothing else, knowing that you're the top dog, and all the work you put in, man. I think football's special in the sense of, like, it's not like basketball, baseball. You can play multiple games in a week, man. You get 10 opportunities in the regular season and 5 chances, and that was back when everybody was together. So 32 teams get in the playoffs, and it's like, we was a 12 seed, you know?
Right.
So, man, it's just that you never know in high school football. You know, we know who the big dogs are, but I mean, just look like 2 weeks ago. Curtis losing to Holy Cross. It's any given Friday, Thursday, Saturday when it's high school football. So I mean, just that feeling of working and grinding. And my dad was a coach. You know, just loving sports, but no, that special feeling of being the last team standing and being able to hold the trophy, just drives me every day. I want to feel that again.
Okay, I like that answer. St. Louis jobs opens up. Why in particular St. Louis Catholic?
Man, being honest, I wasn't really looking for a head coaching job at that time. I was at Cecilia, and I was with 2 coaches that coached me at Bell Chase. The head coach Dennis Gaines and offensive coordinator Clint Harrison. They're both together at Cecilia, and I had just left from coaching at Bell Chase and just wanted to venture out. I had been living on the West Bank and been around there a long time. I just kind of was ready to make a change, and man, I was over there having fun. We was having some fun on that team. I think we went 9-1 in the regular season. It was that COVID year. Man, it was just a fun group to be around. But I knew eventually I wanted to be a head coach. So my mentor, Coach Gaines, was like, man, look, just start going to interviews. Start applying for jobs so you can work on your interview technique, you know, and you know the questions that will be asked and things like that. And I have some family up here that's from Plaquemines, Maverick DeMall, down there from Beerus. And his daughters were going to St. Louis Catholic, and their coach had just resigned. So he kind of sent it to me in a, in a message like, hey, man, I think you should look into it. And, you know, once I got here, did my first interview over FaceTime after spring practice. While I was still at Cecilia, I told them I wouldn't miss practice to go to the interview. So they decided. I drove into a gas station parking lot, pulled out my phone, did a FaceTime interview with about 5 people on here. And man, when I made it up there on that it was a Monday morning, they asked me to come interview, and I interviewed on the phone on Thursday. And when I pulled up, it just reminded me kind of Hurricane Katrina. It reminded me of home. They banged up, they in FEMA trailers. They got a vision of what they want their school to be. And, you know, I felt the need to be there. I wasn't really looking for it. Just when I pulled up, and I actually went to the wrong building because I couldn't find the front office. So just kind of seeing the damage and the project, I like a challenge. And I seen the vision, and they seen my vision, and it's been a real good match.
Seeing the vision, but how hard was it for you to leave Cecilia?
Man, No, that was real hard. I can remember me and Dennis Gaines sitting in his office for 2+ hours, going over pros and cons, and just because we were such a good match working together, having so much fun, so much success, but also knowing that at some point I wanted to venture out on my own. I had my own visions and things that I wanted to see where we could take them. And but that was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my career. I remember sitting at home with my wife just questioning it over and over again. And I didn't accept that job after it was offered to me that next day for, a good while. Just because of that, just because it was the unknown, and then knowing how much fun I was having. Yeah, it was pretty difficult.
We're live with Coach Brock Matherne, the head coach of the St. Louis Catholic Saints football team. Those joining us for the first time, please click that subscribe button. Also share, click the like, and comment. Coach Brock Matherne, your first year, went to the playoffs for the first round. You lost to Vanderbilt Catholic. Second year, you win your first round. Had a tough matchup with Madison Prep, a 6-0 loss to them. After these two playoff losses that you guys have had, and going into this season, what is the mindset? I know the ultimate goal, win a state championship.
Yeah, for sure.
But what is the mindset of your coaching staff and your team before this season started?
Man, when I got there 3 years ago, this senior group was sophomores, and I had to start about 12 to 14 of them on that first year team. So we knew, we knew as they grew, they would get a ton of experience, and that was the best teaching tool. So we took these 2 years as work. Like we of course we wanted to win a state championship, and that was always the goal. It never changed. We worked for a state championship. But this senior class is special, and our deal this year is just kind of being in the moment. We talked about it today. Like we don't want to look ahead, and we just want to learn from the past. The only thing we really want to do each and every day, and the coaching staff, the kids. I mean, it's been so much fun working with this group. Such good leadership. I mean, for us, it's living in the moment. We want to work, and we want to just be there, be in the moment and not let other things distract us, control what we can control. So yeah, I mean, that's just us. We're trying to enjoy each and every day. We don't look at the scoreboard. We don't look at the outcome. We just enjoy the process, man. We enjoy the process of getting to work. We work hard. We call it, we put sweat equity into this. So we're going to enjoy it along the way, and we're going to try to make as many memories as we can and try to get to that 15-week mark.
You spoke of these guys who are now seniors. They were sophomore 2 seasons ago. How important is it to have these bunch of seniors, 15 seniors to be exact, coming back to this team? How important is that?
Yeah, I mean, that's 15 3-year starters, we got 26 total seniors now, a couple 2-year starters, a couple first-year players that came from basketball this year. But, man, this is a great group, a fun group, but a group that has a ton of experience. And, man, they make it fun to go to work because they show up and they get it. Like, they're focused. They know when to have fun and when to lock in. And we improved each week this year, and that's something that, I'm really impressed with because, like, it seemed like the last couple of years we would get to a level and kind of stay there. Whereas this year you just seen the constant growth in the group showing that they still wanted to learn. The constructive criticism these kids take, man, it's just a fun group to be around. Like I said, they've been through a lot, through the hurricane, through floods, through a freezing, and they just, man, they don't waver. They want a state championship. Hard to say this, but they want one just as bad as I do, and they work for it every day. So again, it's a fun group.
Do you ever show them your state championship ring?
Man, no, I got it locked up. I think I might have wore it against Vanderbilt in the play that first round playoff game and kind of showed them in like a little pregame speech type deal. But for the most part, I take that thing out for certain. I said it the next time I wear it is when I get to coaching one. But no, man, I leave that thing kind of locked up. It's in my home office where I'm at right now, and but I look at it often. It keeps me reminded and keeps me chasing that goal.
Before I pass it on to VK Jones, This Thursday night is St. Louis versus Lake Charles College Prep, and this game is a big district game. It can be for the district championship. What have you seen on film in regards to Lake Charles College Prep?
Man, a lot of speed, athleticism. For me, it's one of those things that kind of reminds me of home, reminds me of like a Carver. If I could compare him to somebody back home, a ton of speed on the field. If you make one mistake, they'll hurt you. Especially on defense. If you go and miss a tackle, they'll take that thing to the house. In the kicking game, they got some really good returners, both punt return, kick return. And they fly around in the football. They again, but a team that moving from New Orleans to Lafayette and now here at Lake Charles, it reminds me more of the type of ball you see at home with the spread offenses and stuff. Whereas like when I got to Lafayette and now Lake Charles, you see a lot more tight end personnels, two tight personnels, and some big old boys. So I'd say like the speed factor reminds me a lot of home.
Man, Coach Brock, it's good to have you on the show. I can't believe I'm saying Coach Brock.
We got some history, my man.
We got some history because I know Jared remembers him for state. Me and Coach Brock personally, because I actually was calling play-by-play for Bell Chase with Johnny Marquise for a couple of years, and then I took over as the guy in play-by-play and everything. And it's amazing how me and him used to talk. I always ask about his brother and stuff like that, and give him some encouragement, give the team some encouragement, stuff like that. And it was amazing all these years later that I run into his brother over at South Lafourche at the time. I think Dennis Gaines was the coach.
Yep.
So it was funny with that. I was like, man, because I like Coach Gaines a lot. He was a straight shooter, man.
Yeah,
he was a straight shooter.
Guy.
So it's not surprising that him and Clint Harrison coming together again and creating some kind of chemistry out there.
They rolling right now, man.
It's crazy, man. I had a feeling there was a reason why Cecilia's continue to improve.
Yeah,
but
really good coaching staff.
But it's good to find. Yeah, it's great that now you're the head man. You know what I'm saying? But I want to ask you, how do you like the situation in St. Louis right now? I mean, right now, what I've been hearing and being around that community in itself, that there's a great future ahead for this St. Louis school. Can you tell us a little bit about it and what you think about the situation? Because it seems like it's growing and growing every day.
Yeah. I mean, man, for me, when I got the job, they pitched this vision of what they would see the future of St. Louis being. And I always say this, and when I coach with people, or especially when I'm in the interviews and stuff like that, and I'm talking to people, it's like, man, the best to ever do it to me is JT Curtis. He has 28 of them. So I know people would say, look at me a certain way saying it, but like for me, I'm like, he has 28. I want 29, and I want to be at a place that believes that. Yeah. I want to be at a place that believes and sees my vision also, because I think sometimes you could be surrounded by people and your vision be too big for them. They don't see what you see. And I wanted to be in a place that wanted to build something special. And I really believe we're moving in the right direction. We got a really good community that I just think won't let this thing die down. I think they're going to, our community is going to work to get this school going. And I think we're moving in the right direction. And you know how it is from back home dealing with, natural disasters and FEMA and all the different things that go into it. So I think it's more of like a timing thing where it's just going to take time. But I think the excitement we built around the football program is definitely, I mean, just in my numbers in general on the football team, we're up to 90 plus kids on a 3A team. When I got there, we had around like 52. So, I think the interest in us, and of course, if you can consistently win, that's going to attract attention. That's going to attract people that want to be there. And a campus with a new campus, a new field would definitely add to that.
And looking at it, your athletic programs are doing unbelievable. Baseball and basketball, but now football's coming behind it. The way it's going and everything. When will a new school will be close to being done? Because it's just been, they're talking about next year, 2 years. how
Yeah.
things is going. When is the finishing product is supposed to be?
Yeah, man, I wish I could tell you. I'm honestly like, for me, and I tell people the same answer because it's the truth. Man, I'm so focused on trying to win football games. I'm not really even worried about when the next thing's gonna be done. Like I said, I'm not really looking. I'm not looking in the future, and I'm not even really looking to see what when or where the school's gonna be built. To me, it's all about these kids and giving them the best experience. So again, I wish I did know, and I wish I had more information. Um, but at the same time, my mind's on being able to score some points on Lake Charles College Prep and stopping them also. Getting that next win because I definitely don't want to lose.
I completely understand, and that attendance is really going up at the school, and y'all really doing some great things over there.
Man, appreciate that, man.
No problem. Got to ask you this: the way it's going with St. Louis, and it's amazing what I've seen over the years, how that school and athletics has grown. You look at y'all and Lake Charles College Prep. Y'all two is not just the new school in Lake Charles. It seems like you're taking over now in the region because all the old traditions, like a Lagrange, like a Barb, like a Sulphur, like a Washington Marion, it's not strong like y'all two programs. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think not really being around Lake Charles a lot in my life. I'm learning a lot about this area. Of course, growing up a football fanatic and baseball fanatic, you know about Barb, you know about Sulphur, you know about all those schools. But I think when I got up here, Lake Charles College Prep was rolling. I think they was like 6 straight district champs. We played them really well my first year, and then last year we was their first district loss, I believe, in like 2 or 3 years. And I just think, I think it's a lot of just young energy from the coaches, bringing something new to the table that kids aren't used to. It's a big baseball town, really big baseball town. So for both of our staffs, and I credit the Iowa staff too over there with Coach Tommy Johns. Man, I think we do a great job of really promoting the game of football in Lake Charles and trying to put a great product out there. And I think it's actually picked up other people's game because, I mean, it's been some really good football in this area between Iowa, Sam Houston. Sam Houston is off to a great start and had that, run into Acadiana. But again, I just think it's a testament to their program, to our program, that, we put in the work and we're about the kids. And Thursday night, we'll let it show.
Very much agree. Very much agree. And going back to the state championship year, I always said, in my opinion, there was something special about that team. And the game that I really thought was the turning point was against Helen Cox over at House Memphis.
Yeah.
When I seen what happened, I said, well, Bell Chase ain't got I don't know about the defense. I said, their defense is opportunistic because these people can make a play at any time. And they make a big play. That helps the offense.
No doubt.
So I really thought that game was a turning point. Do you think that Helen Cox game was a turning point in y'all season going forward?
No, you hit the nail on the head. Like that was the game for us because we had just lost to Shaw, I think 2 weeks earlier. And before we played Shaw, we hadn't played a game past halftime. Like our offense was putting up crazy numbers. And I remember going into that Helen Cox game. That was when I think my brother really took over as a leader. Coach Becknell was giving his pregame speech, and you don't talk when Coach Becknell's talking. It's one of the things. It's respect. He's earned it, and you listen. And my brother kind of stood up there and said, "I got this one, Coach." And we joke about it all the time, but he really sat there and looked at us and said, "We're not losing. Like you jump on my back or you get off the team, but I will not let us lose." And I think he went on to score like 5-6 touchdowns that game. But also, like you said, our defense that game. My defensive coordinator now, Coach Darius Carroll, he's one of the only defense ends I know to score 3 touchdowns on defense. And he did that year of the state championship, and we were very optimistic. we took advantage of certain scenarios, and we knew we only had to get our offense a couple more series than the other team, and that we knew we'd outscore them. But we also scored a lot of points on defense ourselves. So I know I had a touchdown. Coach Darius had 3 touchdowns. And we had a lot of turnovers that year, so that was our strong suit on defense. But that was a fun team to be around, and that was definitely the turning point because we started rolling after that.
And I just had a feeling right now y'all was gonna be really special. In the Bastrop game,
Yeah, that was
I was one of the few people that picked Bell Chase because I was like, I truly believe this team can go up there and do it, and y'all did it that night. And I was like, if they go out, I said if they go up the Bastrop and win it, Bell Chase might win the whole thing because that is a tough team to beat.
Man, I remember we went down 14. We went down 14-0 in that Bastrop game. And again, I take it back to the Helen Cox game. I really believe that's where the leadership started in that senior class. Looking back, knowing what I know now, back then you don't know, you're a kid. But like we down 14-0, and Bastrop had just came off of 3 straight state championships. And they had the number 1 player in the nation at quarterback in Ruben Randall. They up 14-0, and everybody's starting to kind of pout, and you see my brother smiling. I'm like, this man is crazy. Like they're about to run us out the stadium. And man, our defense made some big plays. We made some big plays on special teams, and then he kind of took over with all those skill guys he had with James Wright and Otis Peterson. And man, that game was fun, 35-34. And when kind of like what you said, when we got on that bus after knowing that was over, we was ready for anybody. It didn't matter who it was.
Now that weekend in the Dome, more than anything else, it was an unbelievable weekend in itself. That you guys and also South Plaquemines, your rival down the road, shared a title, but not just that. That particular year, all 5 state championships were won based in Southeast Louisiana.
Yeah.
Did you ever thought to that night that you would be a part of a history that has never been duplicated in itself and possibly might have caused a bit of cause of a split in the state?
Yeah. I never thought about it like that until you just put it that way. Man, that was a year. That was fun. And I just really like looking back as a kid. I thought it was just cool the fact that the whole Plaquemines Parish was in the Superdome. I remember sitting in the tunnel and South Plaque was rolling somebody. I think they scored 60+ points. That offense was awesome, and we didn't get to play that year because of a hurricane. Coach Beckner always says that's the greatest game never played. And I just
think about it. You, Blake, and then you got Ridge and Lyle. Yeah.
I mean, it would have been a battle, but I think the coolest part was we had this rivalry going on all year, and it was kind of like a battle of like who's doing it better, South Plaque or Bell Chase. And I can remember we was walking through the tunnel the day before. It was the Friday that was when you got to practice in the Dome the day before you played. You took your pictures and all that stuff, and I just remember us passing each other, and it was one of those things where we stopped and everybody just kind of looked around. And then everybody's dapping each other up, telling each other, good luck, man. Best of luck to y'all. Go get it. Let's go get it for the parish. So that was a really cool moment. But then to look at it the way you just put it, yeah, I can see why that may cause the split. The West Bank was dominating, and I think it just that part of Louisiana was dominating, and it carried over with Carr, and John Eric started to get hot after that. Yeah, we got some really good football down there. So yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah, that year it was South Plaque, Bell Chase, Destrehan. I believe there was St. Charles Catholic and Lutcher.
Yep. Lutcher was the 3A state champs because they moved up to 4A that next year.
And the game of the weekend was West Monroe, Destrehan, and also St. Charles and a meet. That was just an absolute war. That weekend in itself. But with y'all, with that passing the choke, I'm gonna ask you just one more question, and I'm gonna let George take over questions. That moment right there with Bell Chase and South Platte, what are your thoughts? What happened years and years later with the Algiers Renaissance when you had Edna Carr and Landry Walker? having that pass of the torch and having them support each other, and for Algiers to take over in that dome, taking out the city of Monroe.
Yeah, man. The coolest part, like I got to be a part of the Plaquemines Parish one, right? The best part was that I was from where South Plaquemines is. I wasn't always from Bellchase. I went to Bellchase after Hurricane Katrina. I'm from Boothville, Venice.
Yeah, Coach Lyle P spilled the beans when he had him on the show. He told us.
That's my boy Lyle.
I think I remember Blake
for the last 3 years, man. He don't want to hear me out. But no, man, it was cool because like that was home. That was our people. That was our friends. That was who we grew up with. Played rec ball together, all-star together. Watching Boothville, Beersport, Suffolk combined go do that for a town that was, after Katrina, it was bad.
Yeah.
So to see us come together right there, knowing that we're all going after the same goal and that we got an opportunity to lift our parish up for at least one night, man, that was awesome. But then to be in the stands and watch the interaction with Landry Walker coming out the tunnel and Carr leaving the field, man, it reminded me a lot of us. It was a cool experience because, like you said, you got to see the Algiers community go and take up Monroe. And, man, it was really cool to see them unite and come together, knowing that they are really, big rivals. That was pretty awesome.
And there was a lot of history in between those times. And
yeah,
amazing stuff in itself. George Peppers.
What's up, Coach Matherne? First off, thank you for taking the time for joining us. And I guess we're doing a lot of rehashing, which is cool, but I can see my host feeling a little bit of hurt because we're talking about how they wasted Shaw in the dome. Just,
good, man. I'm good.
It's all in fun. I'm just making sure, sir. Yeah, I'm just making sure. But no, Coach. Talking about your team here at St. Louis, you're 5-1. You played a pretty rugged schedule, but let's backtrack a little bit. Coming into this season, you have 15 starters coming back, but the most important position you had to replace was at quarterback. Talk about the growth and development of Luke Pearson as before the season and now into this point. You guys are 5-1 with a big game against LCCP. How has Pearson progressed this year?
Man, he's progressed great. He had his best game last week against Westlake. Starting off early, we didn't want to put a lot on him. He had started for 2 years, but it was at corner. And we couldn't afford to play him in JV games because we didn't have the depth at the cornerback position to just risk him getting hurt. So he didn't get many reps at quarterback. And then, this year him stepping in, he decided to go play in the 7-on-7 circuit this summer so he could work on his game. He's worked tremendous as a leader. He was voted our number 1, which is our leadership number at St. Louis. So it's a player's vote. The coaches don't have any say-so in it. So it really gives me an opportunity to see who has the pulse of the locker room. And, man, he's gotten better each week. And like last week, he's had his best days of practice. And he had his best game. I think it was 19 for 23 for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And then these last 2 days of practice, he's been phenomenal. Even better practices than last week. So I'm just happy with his growth as a leader, but also his play is backing it up. The way he's performing at practices, the way he's performing in the game.
Just a little pre-scouting report. We got to see Lake Charles College Prep last week, myself and VK against St. James. I think they are fast, but they're susceptible to the big play too. They gave up a couple of big plays in that game. Just a little quick scouting report, I guess, to help you guys along. Like you guys are doing really well. But listen, another thing I want to point out: everybody talks about the 2008 Bellchase team and Blake. And look, he was a special player for you guys, and your defense was good. But a thing you pointed out in the summertime was about in the trenches, your offensive and defensive line. This group reminds you of the 2008 Bellchase team. Expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, because man, that 2008 year was like the second year into this new style offensive. I don't know if y'all remember, but Coach Beckner used to run like the wing T at Bellchase with Shane Shelley, Chris Henry. And this was like the second year Coach Harrison had took over the offense, and we had moved more towards the spread. And we had moved some people from other positions, like Jeremy Unovich, who ended up playing in the NFL. Yeah. He was the tight end, and he got moved to tackle. Well, we kind of have a similar look and similar build at offensive line this year. We got a big left tackle that's a junior. He's about 6'5", 258 pounds. And we moved him. He plays basketball. He wanted to play tight end. We moved him there to left tackle. Our interior line looks a lot like what our interior line looked like, in that 08 year. And then our right tackle, I believe, is one of the best linemen in the state. Jordan Davis. He's got an offer from Arkansas, Monticello, Louisiana Christian. I think the only reason he hasn't had Power 5 offers is because he's 6'2.5". A little bit more height, and I think he's right there with everybody. Very athletic, but they just remind me with their work ethic also. Those guys, they hang out together. They just had a gumbo dinner together last Saturday by that coach's house. They got a close bond, and I just remember that on our 08 team was that line had a really close bond.
Talking about that 2008 championship game, one play that really, I think, defined it was that fourth down play where your brother used, I think, every bit of the Superdome carpet to pick up, I think, what was it, 4th and
Yeah,
16? I think that play broke Shaw's back because Shaw, up until that point, was hanging in. And Blake just said, okay, watch
yeah,
this. And next thing you know, all I said, I was on the sideline watching that game. And all I saw was smoke, feet, and Blake just using every bit of that Superdome carpet. It felt like that was a backbreaker for Shaw.
yeah. I mean, for everybody else watching, it was like, wow, what a play. But man, he had been doing that all year long. He did that against everybody. And then the crazy part is, I tell people this day, I think Blake's 33 years old. He'll wake up out of bed, no stretch, and
Mhm.
still do the same thing today. He's one of those
Uh,
guys, man. He's
but
just one of those guys.
one of the great moments, I think, for me, I've covered a lot of high school football, and that was one of the great plays I've seen. Individual players too, and
Yeah,
Blake was a special player. I gotta
yeah,
say,
it was.
to me, I mean, what he did for that Bell Chase team, and how he just put y'all on their back, and your defense showed up a lot too. It was a great year, and the Renaissance of Plaquemines Parish really showed up that weekend in the Superdome. But let's fast forward to now. You guys, as I mentioned, are 5-1. Big game against Lake Charles College Prep, presumably for the district championship. You guys feel like y'all the strongest two teams in this district. What's the build-up been like for this game this week? It's a Thursday night game. Uh, Two-part question: the build-up for this game, and a detriment or advantage to be playing on a short week, being that it's Thursday.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think being on that it's Thursday for us isn't that much of a difference because we adapt this mentality that we don't really have a home field. We walk around and just look anybody, anytime, anywhere. Um, so in playing on Thursday, this will be our third Thursday game this year. Um, and for us, I mean, we just adjust the way we go about things. Like we have a system and a process to everything. I mean, every week for us playing through the state championship is planned. We know the workouts we're gonna do. We know, practice may be adjusted, but I think a big part for us in this game is gonna be for us is this is the third year in the weight room. Our guys have gotten bigger, have gotten stronger, have gotten faster. Um, and they bought into it. And we work out 5 days a week now. Um, we we go after it in the weight room, and we want to make sure our bodies are in shape come fourth quarter. That's where we want to end people is in the fourth quarter. And you know what? We don't look at district championships, honestly. We take it one game at a time. I remember back in the day, district championships, you needed them to get into the playoffs. Um, Now, not so
Right.
much. Like for us, we we legit, and I mean, I guess it's an old cliche, but we're worried about now. Like we're worried about this game and how can we get better to get to the state championship, right? How can we take one game at a time, use it to get better, and then have that opportunity, starting week 11 to make a run at the state championship. And I got a saying. I tell the kids, look, if you want a T-shirt, I'll buy you one, but we don't need a district championship for a T-shirt. We want jewelry, and I'm not buying you that. We got to go earn that. So that's the deal
Yeah.
with us, man. We take it a game at a time. So Lake Charles College Prep's the game this weekend. We're preparing and doing the things we need to do to get better, but ultimately, same way we treated in '08, we thought of Bastrop. We look at St. Thomas More, Lafayette Christian, Edie White. How can we get past them? And what do we need to do this week to get better to get past them in the future?
And that's one of my favorite quotes. I actually found that what you said about if you won a district championship about t-shirts and in the ring. I love that quote.
Yeah.
Just for the
No
record.
doubt. Appreciate it, man.
I mean,
it's a belief.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's cliche or whatnot, but that's cool. It's awesome. But how do you feel about your team as we head into the second half of the season? You guys, like I mentioned, a 5-1. You played a pretty rugged pre-district schedule. How do you feel that your pre-district schedule has set you up for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I mean that was a big part of our scheduling. The way we did was we knew Iota was a really tough ball club. Playing Vida out of Texas, they're a bigger school. They would be 5A in Louisiana, so I mean we knew they were a test. And then our district's really tough. I thought when I left Belle Chase, I was in that Warren. When I was coaching at Belle Chase, I was in that Warren Easton, Landry Walker, Carr district. Man, there ain't nowhere else that's this hard. And then I become a head coach and well, there it is. There is a group just as hard. I mean, every week you gotta pack your lunch kit and go to work. You got Lake Charles College Prep, Westlake, Jennings, Iowa, who was in the semifinals last year in that Division III select. Division II non-select. So again, man, it's a tough district, but our pre-district, we schedule it that way. We wanted to play some teams that would test us and find out where we were and create our identity for this team. And I think we did that up to this point. We want to be a physical football team. And I think, going into week 7, we've established just that.
Last question before I turn it back over to Jared. And it's about the playoff format. We finally got some clarity. We're going to have the same format as last year. And just wanted to get your thoughts on that. And obviously, I mean, you guys had a good run last year. Lost a rugged game against Madison Prep, 6-0 in the playoffs. That's a team that's a semifinal contender, state championship kind of contender. How do you feel about the format staying put?
I think if we're gonna do it this way, that it's probably one of the best as far as if you're gonna keep it the way it is. I like more competition in the playoffs. I don't like the whole, hey, you got 16 teams in the division, 15 of you make the playoffs. Like, I'm not into that, man. I'm into competing. Like, when we won state, we had to beat the best. And if it was up to me, we would all come back together. That's just to me. Like, you want to be the best, you beat the best. I don't like we're not a big enough state, in my opinion, with enough schools to have 9 different state championships. And again, like, I look at it as like, okay, I win Division II. Well, who won the public side? And let's play, right? Like, I don't like the whole deal of like, oh, we're the same classification, yet there's 2 state champions. That's just not the way I'm built. I want to compete. I want to compete against the best. So I guess if we're going to keep it separate, select, non-select, I think it's as good as it can get. But I also just don't think it's fair in the sense of like, you got a lot of 4A schools playing these smaller 3A schools. Like us, I mean, I think we got 500, if I don't even know the number of kids, but we're a middle of the road 3A school, I believe. But again, like, we also are not going to shy away from anybody. We draw that number, we draw St. Thomas More, we got to go play them. That's simple as that. But again, I just think ultimately we should come back together. I mean, let it be what it is. Let's go play ball and find out who's the 5 best.
We're live with Coach Brock Matherne of the St. Louis Saints football team. Those watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button. Coach Brock Matherne. I'm gonna get you out of here on 2 things. Number 1, you may see Shaw in the playoffs. You never know.
I knew that was coming.
But let me say the story right quick, and I'll get you out of here, Coach. So, the Bayou Bowl, not the Westgate New Iberia Bayou Bowl. This is Texas, Louisiana.
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah.
So his brother Blake's on the team. My brother Chad Boyd on the team. So I get to the mall, and they're signing autographs. I get there. So, man, I go to everybody on that team. Blake is at the end of the Louisiana table. He's the last one. So I'm going to do everybody to sign it, you know. And I get to Blake, and he look at me, like he raised his head up, and he asked me, he said, so who are you here to see? I said, a whole team. He said, no. Who are you specifically here for? I said, oh, Chad, boy, my brother. Blake does this. He had the ring on the finger. Look at that.
That don't surprise me. That don't surprise me, man.
I was like, yeah, y'all did it. Y'all did it then. Y'all did it, bro. Congratulations. What did I say, bro? But
that don't surprise me one bit, man.
Coach Brock Matherne, like I said, I got a lot of family in Lake Charles. They went to all the high schools out there, all of them, even the one that you're at. After football season, when I come out there, we'll get together at Buffalo Wild Wings, walk-ons, whatever, man. We'll talk it up.
I'm like this.
You got my info.
I'm like this. I will be there for the top 28, so I'll make sure I get the info from Jared, and I'm definitely gonna come see you because I've been covering top 28 last couple of years for Crescent City Sports, so you know I'm definitely gonna be there again regardless. So you go see us.
Good deal, man. It'd be good to see y'all, man. Appreciate all y'all do for sure.
Yes, definitely, Coach Matherne. Thank you, man. Have a good one, and good luck. Good luck Thursday, and also to the rest of the season.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate y'all again. Thank y'all for all y'all do, man.
Definitely.
All right, Coach.
Coach Brock Matherne of the St. Louis Catholic Saints. Yeah, I got that 2008 state championship at Bell Chase, man. And George trying to pour some salt in the wound that just won't heal, you know, but it's all good though, man.
And you opened yourself up again.
Exactly.
You opened yourself.
Thank you,
See,
BK.
the thing is, y'all think that I'm still grumpy, and no, I'm not.
That's
bold enough. That's presumption, sir.
But see, that's humble enough for you, but you did open yourself up to that. It's like
all good.
We put the ring in your face. Whoa!
He put the ring in my face like this. Bam!
Wow.
What could I say? I couldn't say nothing.
See.
Nothing. 28-6, nothing. That's what you can't say.
All I know if my junior year, if St. Aug would have some way somehow got that win and
beat Neville,
I could have been doing the same thing to you right now.
I know you would.
I can't.
Oh wow.
I would. We'd have won that year. 95 would have won that year, and I know we'd have won that year.
Reggie, I know Reggie. I know that loss hurts, bro. I know it hurts. That loss hurts more than the two basketball losses. It hurts. Like we felt like, okay, this is our best chance right now.
And I feel your pain, bro. Because like I said, like even some of the Hineville people even said it. I don't know how in the world we got to that dome in 95. They got stomped by Neville, and it could have been worse if it had been Aug. Trust me, the team that Aug had, it would have been like, okay, the luck is about to really run out. And thank goodness that it was just 38 points on with Neville. Just saying. But
look, guys, before we move on to commercial break and come right back, let's talk about the job he's done over there at St. Louis Catholic. Speaking of Coach Brock Matherne.
Yes.
I mean, 4-7, but got to the playoffs. Then a 9-3 overall record, second round of the playoffs. And now here they are 5-1, gonna make the playoffs again. In the top 5 of the power rankings. Coach Brock Matherne has really done a great job changing the culture at this school and making them relevant in football. VK,
man, I tell you, man, St. Louis has been building and building for a while, especially with football. You know, I knew St. Louis, and I don't know how long the school's been in existence, but it was kind of new to me when I started.
Play basketball for him, so it's been a while.
Because I started discovering about their basketball program. And I was like, who's this team? And I'm like, and I see a whole big old crowd over in Lake Charles. I'm like, oh, they're from Lake Charles. Like, really? And I'm like, they're a good basketball program. And then you discover the baseball program is pretty good. Football, up and down, but I think Coach Matherne, they found the right guy because they've been building this football program. And right now they're in a good spot, good space. And Coach Matherne is young. So, you know, they got him at the right time. And I really think he's going to get – don't be surprised. St. Louis might might stun some people this year. They might go on a deep, deep run because this is a very experienced St. Louis club.
GP.
It is an experienced club,
Hold on,
BK.
GP.
15 seniors.
1 second. Reggie, since
Oh,
I don't want to lose you, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right about St. Aug.
All
oh,
You
damn.
Reggie, yeah, you're right. But all I'm gonna say is this, Mr. Archbishop Shaw sellout, Mr. Brother Martin, president of the Cock Riding Club.
Oh, watch it now. Hold on.
I know it's a family
Watch
club.
it.
I know it's a family show. Let me rephrase that. The Jock Riding Club of BM. All I'm gonna tell you is this, brother. This is not your week coming up. That's all I gotta say. This is not your week coming up. This is not your week.
Go ahead, GP.
Not your week all around. Go ahead, GP.
The team that hung a double nickel on your alma mater, right? That's who they play. I'm just throwing it out there. But look, give the man a little slack, brother. I mean, he's got a son that plays there.
Reggie? Playing the bank?
So,
in the bank?
His son goes there.
Yeah, goes there. Brother Martin plays in the bank.
Doesn't
Yes.
goes there. I said he plays there. I'm sorry, he goes there. So let's cut the man a little slack, dog. I mean, just saying.
Some slack. I get that.
You weren't. You call him a chalk rider.
My thing is this: there's nothing wrong with supporting your child at the school.
I
but
get
at
it.
the same time, when you go overboard, come on now. There's a little overboard.
I mean,
all right, come on. Go ahead, GP, about St. Louis. Come on.
Anyway, look, let me finish my point. Look, you mentioned and you talk about St. Louis, and they have been spectacular. 5-1. That Vidor team in Texas. Those dudes, yeah, they're equivalent to a 5A school. They got size. Them dudes, and they played them dudes to a 21-17 game. So you kind of can tell. And the thing that worries me a little bit, and look, he mentioned about Luke Pearson and his development. Now, when the lights shine bright, yes, they got a ton of experience in the backfield and in the trenches. But what if they got to put the game in his hands in a big playoff spot? That's a little concerning. I think overall in the trenches they are going to compete. And are they going to beat the likes of an LC, a St. Thomas More? Can they? I think that is a heck of a question to ask. But I tell you what, the Saints could be marching into the Superdome potentially if they catch it right. I mean, look, all it takes is to get right in a 4-week stretch, and they have the capability to do it. The only concern is at the quarterback position. It's not that he's a bad kid; he's a good player. He's proven himself, as Coach Matherne has said, JB. But again, when those lights are bright, when we hit the playoffs, if a team jumps on them early, how does he respond?
Well, I'm gonna say this, man. They win tomorrow. That's another big statement. They beat them last year. They win again tomorrow. That's a big statement from St. Louis. Nick Campbell says, "Look out for Edie White." I like Edie White, semifinal team a year ago, state championship run-ups 2 years ago. I just don't know Edie White can beat teams that can really stop the offense. Teams like I think St. Thomas More, Lafayette Christian, Turlins. I put Shaw in there. Teams that stop the offense. Corday Hankton asks, "When's the last time St. Aug been to the Dome?" VK.
I'm gonna say this.
That's cold-blooded.
Corday, I love you to death, brother. I love you to death, and I don't know why you gotta go that low on me, man. I don't disrespect your alma mater. All right, I'm gonna say this about your alma mater: you have owned us. Your coach, in general, has owned us. 1979, Reggie, get it right. Get it right. And I don't think they even sniffed the Dome. Looking at the history, they have not sniffed the Dome at all in the state championships. The 2 state championships St. Aug played in, 1 year, I believe, was in Covington, I believe. I think both years they played in Covington. So they have not really, they played in the Superdome, but they never played in the state championship kind of thing. Oh, of course.
Right?
Of course. Of course, we know. We know your head coach. That's why your head. Your head coach owns St. Aug. I can strongly admit that. And I ran into him on Saturday at Nicholls State homecoming. And I had to share the post. And he told me to share it. From rivals to alumni. I am proud to say that I am a Nicholls State alumni and Jay Rawton is an alumnus. So, hey, it is what it is, bro. That 95 team, that was actually Coach Raw's first year, my brother. His first year. And I still ain't forget that. Because St. Aug had the game, had it won, and let it go. So, from that being said, it was just, crazy in itself. But St. Aug had chances over the years to get there. I don't know if it's bad luck. I don't know what it is. Look, the one time I can say that St. Aug got handled in the semis and got outplayed was West Monroe in Michael Franklin's senior year. And that was probably the best West Monroe team I've ever seen. That's how good they were.
All right. Everyone, we're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back as we do our pick'ems today. Usually do them on Wednesdays, but we would do them today because we have 2 guests tomorrow night on our show. So pick'ems are up next. Don't go nowhere. Stay right there, as we will be right back on the Hash It Out Show.
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. Yes, the Hash It Out Show game of the week is between the Patrick Taylor Tigers taking on the Sophie B. Wright Warriors. Game is at 6:30. Catch pregame around 6 o'clock p.m. And also tune into www.tsbnsports.com to hear the audio broadcast of the game. VK Jones, George Peppers, and myself will be calling the games. All right. So we had a good interview with Coach Brock Matherne. We thank him for joining us. And now we get into our pick'ems. Let's rock and roll. You guys ready?
Yep. And I know tomorrow we'll probably go over who won last week. So it's also good.
Yes. My boy VK said he went like 21-8. So I think I had 7 losses. I'm going to double check, and George will give me his stuff. So let's get into it, everybody. Let's get into it. Thursday's games. We're going to start off in the Northwest. Airline coming off of a loss to Captain Shreve, taking on Harton. I'm going Airline to bounce back. VK?
I got Airlines to bounce back too. Very shocking loss to Captain Shreve. Looked like they started to come along.
I gotta stop you. I got breaking news. I got breaking news. I just got a notification. Teresa Weatherspoon, the next head coach of the Chicago Sky of the WNBA.
Wow.
Continue, my
changes.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah. well, I'll tell you, man. Airline, that was a shocking loss last week to Captain Shreve.
Big loss too. Whew.
Exactly. I think look like Captain Shreve is starting to really come on their stride now and everything after a rough start. So we didn't have them last week. We didn't pick them, but we're picking Airline this week. I'm picking Airline to bounce back.
GP.
We are? All right,
Yep.
I'm kidding.
Yes,
I'm going Vikings. Look, I heard some stuff about Harton and through a northern Louisiana reporter and whatnot. Been doing a lot of reading. The Vikings are legit. Look, they lost to Captain Tree last week. Don't sleep on Captain Tree. They're starting to, like you said, VK. They're starting to click. They're starting to hit. But the Vikings bounce back big this week.
Crescent City at St. Martin's, two
Oh God.
rivals. I got St. Martin's big over Crescent City.
gimme, 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 gimme.
Yeah.
Name your number, name your price. St. Martin's is gonna beat him like it ain't nothing nice. Sorry, Chris City. St. Martin's.
St. Martin's lost a very humbling game last week to a team that blasted them last year, Riverside. And whoops to those who pick St. Martin's, not me,
Not me.
VK, me neither. Just saying. I mean, but I'm gonna say it like this. My pick goes like this: who that say they're gonna beat them Saints? Not Crescent City, St. Martin's.
All right. Baton Rouge area. Dutchtown. Taking
Man,
on Live Oak. Live Oak got a big win over Denham Springs in the Battle of 16. That's Highway 16. Does Live Oak continue this win streak over Dutchtown? No. I got Dutchtown winning.
Mm. Woo, this is an interesting one, man. Because Live Oak has been starting to dig in. I usually would go for upset, but I'm like this. I got screwed over about Dutchtown, and I'm not gonna get screwed over this time. I got screwed over because I picked.
no, you
No,
didn't.
I got screwed over because I picked against them and lost. But I'm not.
You won.
Huh? No.
Walker beat them last week.
Oh, they did. Oh, I'm
Walker won.
sorry.
Yes,
They sure
remember?
did.
2 scores
They
down.
sure
I told
did.
this during the
They sure
broadcast.
did.
Yeah, they got me. Both of y'all
They
got
sure
me.
I
did.
picked Walker. Yeah.
They sure did. But I think
Exactly.
Dutchtown's a much better team. I think Dutchtown wins in a close one.
GP.
Look, Jared, you and I said this about Live Oak's win over
Jordan
Denham
says
Springs.
Live Oak.
I,
Jordan
I,
says Live Oak from Under the Lights.
Mm.
I don't see that, Jordan. Much respect to you, brother, but look, I think Denham Springs was a balloon that got popped. I don't think they're as good as we thought. And Live Oak took advantage of a great situation and got the W. Dutchtown, they had Walker beat. Doggone it, my pick record's going to reflect it too, man. I picked Dutchtown, but I'm picking them again. I'm going
All
Dutchtown.
right. This game we will pick tomorrow because I want to be fair with it. We have Lake Charles College Prep head coach Eric Franklin joining us tomorrow. So we're going to pick this game tomorrow after the interview. So I don't want to pick it now. And then we got Coach Franklin. Somebody might not pick Lake Charles College Prep. I don't know. And, he might say no to the interview. But we'll do that tomorrow after.
In
Here we go.
respect of the coaches.
Yes, definitely. Here we go. Landry versus Higgins. Can Landry get their first win of the season? Is it possible? I think it is possible. But I don't think it will happen. I think Higgins wins by 14. Higgins by 14. I got Higgins defeating Landry.
Name your score.
Uh-oh.
Name your score.
Oh.
Higgins big. Higgins
Right.
big. Like I said, I know Landry's been through enough, but it's too much of a mess. Higgins has been playing too good this season, and they're not going to slack off. Higgins by 20.
Okay. GP.
That same Higgins that got beat by 36 against John Everett last week. Just a reminder. And yeah, I'm saying it because Everett, that's my alma mater, and you doggone right, we put it on him. This week, though, look, I feel real bad for LB Landry. I do. I mean, this tumultuous doesn't even begin to describe what they have gone through. With their coach, getting suspended. I do agree, Kenny. This is gonna be ugly. This is like putting lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig. All right. But for pick's sake, I'd say Higgins First team to 17 wins it. Higgins gets there and gets the W. It won't be pretty though.
I saw Shaw play Landry, and Shaw was sloppy and won 41-6. It wasn't good
Hmm.
looking at Shaw this past Friday night, but they won 41-6. All right, here we
Right.
go. We going to the River Parishes. Lutcher at Hornville. Hornville coming off a game where they were winning, and then a shooting happens, and the game is considered a no contest, which kind of hurts them in the power rankings because they were holding that last spot down for a second. Now they're not. And Lutcher is rolling in Division 9 Select, Division 2 9 Select. So who gets the win? I got the Lutcher Bulldogs going into Tiger Stadium and coming out victorious. Lutcher, VK.
I think Hornville's going to be ready to play. They've been battling. They've been really, really battling. But I think Lutcher's the better team. I think Lutcher goes in there and gets the win.
All right, TC Brazil. He says St. James. Hey, they might be the best team in the River Parishes. They might be. Go ahead.
Better than that. Better than Destran? I don't know about that. Listen, Hanville up until last week, 2 weeks ago at East St. John, they went toe to toe with East St. John, who's arguably maybe the second best team in that district.
Yeah.
And then last week they were in front of Thibodeau when that unfortunate shooting happened, which we could talk about that later. For the game, though, Lutcher is coming along. They're just cruising along. It feels like they're doing it kind of quietly, though, doesn't it?
It does.
Because you're not looking at. I mean, it feels like Lutcher. They're 4-1. It's like, oh wow, there they go again. But you're reigning state champions and having to replace Snacks. They seem to have kind of not missed a beat. They had that hiccup earlier in the year. But Lutcher's going to win this game, I think, by a touchdown. I think Harville's going to battle them all the way, though. Lutcher by a touch.
All right, guys, calm down. Y'all coming at me because I just said it might be the best team. Okay, they're a great team in the River Parishes. Let me just be real. I think Destrehan is number one, and I think East St. John right behind them. That's the top two, in my opinion. And then we can have a conversation with Lutcher and St. James and St. Charles Catholic. I know my man Nick. He had St. James like ranked 6th in his River Parishes ranking, man, and a lot of people didn't like that. But hey.
Well, to me, is Destrehan 1, St. Charles Catholic 2, St. James 3.
No, East St. John. East St. John.
East St. John is 4. They're on the rise
okay.
More than anything else. They're on the big time rise. No disrespect to East St. John at all.
Cool. All right, guys. Also, Terrebonne going to Destrehan. Does Terrebonne get the upset, or does Destrehan keep rolling? When I think of Terrebonne, I think about that game against Kennedy, man. And I just don't see Terrebonne scoring much on Destrehan. I got the Wildcats at Destrehan.
I got the Wildcats too. They're starting to come together. Their young team is starting to really gel, and it's the time that they could break out. I got Destrehan in this ball.
This would have been a nice pickup here. Destrehan, Terrebonne. Terrebonne, they looked sloppy against Kennedy in week 2. That's way back when. They haven't lost since. I don't think it really matters. I think Marcus Scott's got his team going. He just won his 100th game as head coach. Go for 101. Destrehan wins. Big.
All right. And the last of our Thursday night games, Turlings Catholic. Big win over Westgate, even though Jabari Antoine is hurt for Westgate, but not taking it away from Turlings. They won big, 38-14 over Westgate. They're going to Lafayette Christian, right down the road, not far at all, right across Interstate 10. Who gets the win? Jawan Johnson and Lafayette Christian. I think too much Jawan Johnson. Look, Turlings beat them last year in a regular season on a game-winning touchdown in the final seconds. And then the playoff semifinals, Lafayette Christian scored over 60 on Turlings Catholic to go to the Dome. I think Lafayette Christian does it again to Turlings, this time at home. I got Lafayette Christian over Turlings. VK.
I think Lafayette Christian. I think this is going to be a really, really good game. It's going to come down to the wire. I think Lafayette Christian has not forgotten what happened last season. Should be very, very close, but I got Lafayette Christian getting it done by a touchdown.
Kenny, the website I got said TC said Lafayette Christian's at home, but I want to say you're right because last year they were at Lafayette Christian, so you might be right on that one.
Oh,
and Jordan says he thinks Turtle's a home team too. I think they're right. Before you go, George, TC Brazil, St. James beat Patterson big by 40. Go ahead, George.
Okay, I'm gonna steal a page out of the VK Jones playbook. The over/under in this game is 80. This is going to be a track meet. You got two very good quarterbacks, Preston Welch for Turlings, who we saw earlier this year, VK against St. Charles. Yeah, I think so, Jordan. What I was going to say, and you got Jawan Johnson for Lafayette Christian. We don't have to expound on what he can do. We know what he can do. I think this is going to be a showcase matchup for both offenses. I think the defenses are going to take a back seat because the talent on both sides offensively is impeccable. Lafayette Christian's going to win it, and they'll score 60 to get it.
All right.
I wonder if anybody's broadcasting that ball game particularly, because I know we're going to be broadcasting Thursday. But if somebody's broadcasting, I want to catch the replay of that.
I'm wondering if Turlings gave Lafayette Christian permission to stream it, because Lafayette Christian streams their own home game. So I'm wondering if Turlings gave them permission. If they did.
Well, Turlings radio crew, 96. What is it? 96.5 VK.
Yes.
When those guys we met up with, 96.5. They do games for that radio station out of Turling. So I'm gonna guess they did the game at St. Charles. So yeah, they're probably gonna do the game in Lafayette, which is right next door.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're gonna video stream or is Under the Lights gonna do video stream. I don't know. We'll find out hopefully.
Under the Lights, Jordan, Under the Lights, they're not doing it. I saw it on their Facebook page. They're not doing Lafayette Christian and Turlings.
Okay.
All right. Let's get to these Friday games. This is a big one. Caliga Baton Rouge going to Central. Former Caliga Baton Rouge head coach David Semino is now the head coach at his alma mater of Central. Can he take down his former school? He's the coach, Catholic. Semino has Central rolling. We haven't seen Central like this in many years. I think Catholic is getting the job done. I got Caliga Baton Rouge over Central. VK.
Should be an interesting ball game, but at the same time, this is going to be, this is a very interesting matchup. But like I said before, Catholic, it's not the same Catholic.
Not.
And like I said, David, when the last time the Central started rolling like this, there was a coach that stepped in there that turned that thing around named Sid Edwards. And guess what? Semino putting a shiner on. And I've been telling y'all from the beginning of the season, watch for Central. And they're going to prove themselves Friday. I got Central against Catholic.
All right.
Remember, I said that in the beginning of the season. I said
One second, George. Jordan says last year, I believe LCA Night Vision broadcast team was denied the rights to do the game at Turlings in that playoff game. Could potentially see the same this week. Okay, so it's possible that more than likely they're going to deny him. All right, GP, go ahead, buddy.
All right, Catholic and Central. Catholic is not the team that intimidates you like they have in past years. I think we can attest to that. Central's schedule leaves a little bit to be desired. I think that, but look, David Semino is an outstanding coach. He'll win anywhere. I think he can, I want to pick Central. Damn you, VK. You had to steal my thunder.
Hey, Jordan got
I was hoping to beat a lone. I know, but I was hoping to beat a lone wolf, but that's okay. I respect the hell out of Catholic. I do. I mean, that program is consistent. They do it the right way, in most parts. But Central feels like a team of destiny this year. I feel like, and they're hosting the game. I think they're going to pull this thing off. I'm with you, VK. I got Central.
I'm the lone wolf. All right, moving on. Denham Springs going to Saint Amant. Saint Amant right now.
Oh,
The
Ooh.
surprise team of the year next to Holy Cross. Does this Saint Amant train keeps rolling? Or does Denham Springs finally finds a rhythm offensively to get a win over this Saint Amant undefeated team? No. The Saint Amant Gators gets the win over Denham Springs. VK.
I'm gonna tell you this: there are 3 coaches right now that are in line for Coach of the Year. One is Nick Watney over at Holy Cross. Second is David Seminole over at Central. The third is David Oliver at Saint Amant. What he has done is unbelievable. And for them to get that big win on the road at East Ascension, which is not an easy win, and for them to step up on the road in general, this is a do or die game for Denham Springs, a big do or die. But I cannot go against them anymore. Saint Amant is gonna take it. I can't go against David Oliver's team this week.
And look, Kenny
Amant.
says if the Central Cali game is within 15 points, he gonna buy y'all Ruth Chris. Because y'all told Central.
bet.
Look at George, bet.
Kenny.
I mean, I think it's a closer game. Look, I think you're getting a little too hung up on the week. Look, I'm with you on the theory, but Central just look. David Seminole is not a coach that's just going to lay it down. I think they got a real opportunity, Kenny. But VK, I'm with you on Roots Chris, bro. If this game's winning 15,
hey, Mr. Kenny,
I'm with that.
I'm like this: if Central win the ball game, Kenny, we'll send you. If you want us to hit you up, we'll send you our cash apps so you can just see.
I don't have Cash App though.
Well, I'll send you the cash app, Kenny. You send me all whatever it needs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he's gonna take it by himself. Look at this, JB. Damn. All right, Saint Amant. You know we've picked against them in some swing games this year, and we've been wrong. And you might want to include me on that list, sir. Kenny.
No, he's talking about
because I picked Central too.
He got you.
Oh, the Cash App. I got you.
Yeah,
I know.
all of us.
All right. You know, Saint Amant, we picked against them a couple of times this year, and we feel like complete fools. We felt like complete fools picking against them. I hate to pick teams that are schizophrenic and up and down. That's what Denham Springs feels like to me. And they lost that battle on Highway 16 last week to Live Oak. You know, and you mentioned Babin coming back at quarterback for the Gators, and yes, they're a better football team with him. I mean, they've played some good teams, beat some good teams. Man, I feel like we're picking this team, and they're gonna lose. Watch and see. That's just the mojo of that. We've picked against them all year, and now that all 3 of us are gonna pick them, watch Denham Springs go in there and pop them. But I'm picking Saint Amant.
All right, we're staying in Baton Rouge. Another big time matchup. University taking on Madison Prep. Madison Prep has won their last 4 out of 6, as you can see in the record. University only lost to Rummel. Big time matchup right here. But I think University gets the job done. VK.
Varsity against. Okay, that's interesting in itself. Man, I gotta tell you, bro. University's been on a roll, man. They've been on a roll. Madison Prep trying to get it together. It's gonna be a very good matchup. I got University getting it done at the end.
GP.
It's University. I don't know. You know, how does that Rummel loss look now? 2 weeks ago, you would have said, "Oh, it looks bad," but look what Rummel did last week, right? Beat John Curtis.
Yeah.
You know, so you kind of take that with a grain of salt. I'm gonna go with you high though. I feel like that's another team that's a little under the radar. Madison Prep doesn't impress you offensively. Defensively is where they're gonna have to get this game and get it done. I get what you're saying, Kenny, but I'm gonna go with the Cubs. Fly to W, right?
I'm gonna say this. Maybe Shaw woke up Rummel.
Maybe because Rummel came back like a bat out of hell.
Yeah.
Against John Curtis.
That's right. All right. At the Shrine.
Davis of the Saints.
I'm about to say, how am I talking?
What was that?
I'm like, somebody clone me. I got some messing with you, bro. Here we go. The Shrine, Acadiana, coming down to take on John Curtis. John Curtis has lost 2 games in a row. This is rare. Rare.
Very.
JT is trying to break the national record this year. He has to win 4 games to do it now. And after this game, he's still going to have to wait another 4 games. Acadiana is coming. They're playing much better than when they played Lafayette Christian in week 1. Acadiana wrecking Rams. Wrecking John Curtis to 3-3. I got Acadiana. That's right, Q. Tell him. Acadiana. Come on, VK. Who you picking? Wait, we can't hear you, VK. Are you mute?
I got it. I'm trying to make some arrangements right quick. It's kind of crazy, man, but my fault on that. But bruh, this is hard. This is really hard. You picked Curtis, my friend?
I picked Acadiana.
You picked the kitty? Bruh. God dog it, man. You know what? I gotta stick with Curtis on this one.
You stay with John Curtis.
I'm gonna stick with Curtis. Close one.
Okay.
Think of the storyline. You said they got to win 4 more to break the record, right?
4
JT.
more to break the national record. Yes.
Guess who that 4th game is against? In a game we will broadcast. Curtis against Edna Carr. Think of the salacious, the storyline coming into that. But they got to get there. You know, there's the old rule that the great Bill Baumgartner used to tell us when they picked the games in the paper. It said, Lewis, the same. Never, never bet against John Curtis. Well, if you did the last 2 weeks, you lost. I don't think it's 3 in a row. I think JT and there's too much pride on that Curtis team, too much experience. Acadiana, yeah, they got embarrassed against LC in week 1, but I'm going to go with John Curtis. I think they get the ship right and they win a very entertaining game. I think a game that's going to be in the mid-20s for both teams. Curtis winning by 4.
Okay. Come to the West Bank. We had Coach Brock Matherne on the show, who won a state championship with Belle Chase, defeating the Archbishop Shaw Eagles in 2008. But this game Friday night is Shaw's homecoming, and Belle Chase coming to town. Archbishop Shaw wins. Go ahead, VK.
I gotta tell you, man. You know, looking at last week, I was just so close. I was so close. The game with the overtime, Belle Chase almost pulled it off. And I love to go with the Cardinals again this week. Look how much motivation it is. You're going for a district championship on the road. These people got you at your homecoming. This game will be really, really close because Belle Chase is not laying down. They coming with a fight. They coming to fight, but I'm going with the Shaw Eagles to win this one by a touchdown. Close ball game.
GP.
The detriment to Shaw is this. The last 3 games they've played, Higgins, West Jeff, and Landry. Not exactly tough competition, to be quite honest. I worry in that vein. Yeah, Shaw had a couple of tough games early, but they haven't played a tough game and been pushed in 3 weeks. Belle Chase is the kind of team that can ugly it up, slop it up a little bit. It's going to be a nice, cool night, though, so the track's going to be fast. So I think at the end of the day, Shaw with the superior running back, I think Parker's going to get it done for you guys. And Shaw wins. I'll give you a 21-7, 21-10 game. Shaw.
Let me answer Coach Hankton's question right quick. Have I ever picked against Shaw? When I feel like
Who's the friend?
It's sarcasm. He's asking.
I know. I know he is.
Coach Hankton, when I feel like there's a team that could beat y'all, then I will pick them. There we go. I'm not biased. Not biased, Coach Hankton.
Lies. I'm kidding.
Moving on.
I'm
Sound like the
kidding.
growth of a host. Growth of a host, man. That's good.
There you go. That's a good thing.
The battle in uptown New Orleans. Newman taking on De La Salle. Can De La Salle pull off this upset? No, I got the Greenies. I think Newman gets it done. VK.
It should be this one. I'm telling you, Newman now is just on
I
the
got
ball,
you, Jordan.
man.
I got your
No,
team for week 10. Your Karen Crow Bears. Okay, I got you.
tough opponent, baby.
That's what he's
Tough
saying.
opponent.
That's what he's saying. I'm gonna pick Karen Crow for sure week 10. I got him. Go ahead, VK.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be one-sided more than anything else. Like Newman came off of a tough overtime win against Bell Chase, and Newman showing a lot of character. So I like Newman in this ball game.
De La Salle got a confidence builder last week. Yeah, they destroyed Kenner Discovery. I feel like this game's going to be a lot closer than most people believe. Newman has been terrific all year long, but they finally got pushed against a physical football team, Bell Chase. De La Salle is similar in that respect defensively. They're going to hit him, and it's how Newman responds to that. I would not be surprised if the Cavaliers upset this Greenies team. But Nelson Stewart's got this team on laser focus. I feel like that they've been really, really strong, and it's not going to be easy. Newman by a field goal.
All right. Got a tougher for y'all on the
Uh-oh.
East Bank. East Jeff and
Jesus.
Bonneville.
Yikes.
Ooh, power rankings on the line here in a big district matchup. Who gets it done? East Jeff by 10. At East Jeff.
Should be an interesting one right there. I mean, the battle of the East Bank. Now this time in the district, and they're battling for a trophy and all that other stuff. It's an interesting week. This has been a very good, a little bit of a small rivalry that's been going on for a long, long time. You know, I think this game will be really, really close, but I'm trusting in Coach Glover to get it done for East Jefferson and a win by either of these teams, power points, and possibly a playoff berth. So I have East Jeff getting it done by a touchdown.
Well, Bonneville only got 14 against West Jeff last week. A historically bad West Jeff. That is not a precursor for me sticking with this Bruins team. We picked them last week, not this week. East Jeff by 2 touchdowns.
All right. Let's go to the North Shore right quick. The Hammond Tornadoes going to Covington. Covington losing by 2 points to St. Paul's, who's right now in the running to win that district.
Mm-hmm.
Is Covington starting to put things together? Looks like it. Plus, one of their star players was out with a concussion. He's back this week. I think Covington will get this win over these Hammond Tornadoes. Go ahead, VK.
Covington, yeah, they're looking to try to bounce back. They played really, really hard last week. But Hammond is looking to try to bounce back themselves after taking 2 tough losses. And Hammond is continuing to be an improved squad, and they're looking to try to get a signature win. I like Hammond in a close one.
Covington. Simple as that. I think, they toe-to-toe St. Paul's last week, 21-19 was that final.
Yeah.
I think Greg Salter's going to get this team. They're due for a big win. And I think quite frankly, they're a better football team than Hammond. The records may not reflect it, but I think the Lions get it done this week by 10.
All right. Let's go to New Orleans, Tad Gormley Stadium. Holy Cross, baby. 6-0. Scott Watney got his team rolling. They take it on the Brother Martin Crusaders, who has 1 district loss. Brother Martin right now looking to maybe Have a three-way tie for district, maybe. We'll see. Is it still a chance for them to win? All right, yeah. But we'll see. But who wins this game? Brother Martin had 8 starters out to injury last week against Jesuit. Had people playing both sides of the ball. Now, I don't know if all 8 are coming back this week. I would say I doubt it. And with that being said, and I know Q, I know you're watching right now. I know you're watching. But your son plays for Brother Martin, and I don't think they're going to win this game. I got Holy Cross winning over Brother Martin.
Well, Mr. Now, I'm gonna say this, Mr. Johnson, come step on up, baby. Come step on up, baby. Because this ain't your week.
Oh,
This ain't your week. I'm telling you now. We've been wrong about Holy Cross, but at the same time, we've been right on Holy Cross. How improved they are. I said this a couple weeks ago against Curtis. They have now stepped in to the contender mark. They have stepped into the contender spot for the Catholic League title. And I said it myself. They're going to have to crack in my top 5, which we'll talk about more tomorrow, if they have a repeat performance. And I beg St. Aug to prove me wrong, and they didn't. Holy Cross put up a 55 spot against probably one of the best defenses in the state.
Double nickel.
A double nickel. And sending a message to not just the Catholic League, but to the state that they are a contender. Holy Cross, big over Brother Martin name.
oh,
It's not going to
okay.
be close.
Wasn't
Sorry,
it?
Reggie.
Wasn't it St. Aug's? Wasn't it St. Aug's homecoming last week?
Sure was.
Sure was. Yep.
Oops, man. Listen, I'm one of the believers in Holy Cross. I put them in my top 5 after they beat Curtis. That's all I need to see. As high as I was on John Curtis, and Holy Cross did that to them, coming back from 2 double-figure deficits to win. I don't need to see any more than what I need to see now from them. I know what Cole Canatella is. Scott Watney is right now my coach of the year. Canatella has got to be in the running for player of the year. That dude is terrific. And he has just been so clutch for them. Yeah, another homecoming ruin, though. Look, I love Mark O'Neill, the head coach. Another homecoming ruin. I'm picking Holy Cross, but I feel like Brother Martin's going to lay it down, go out there and put out a good effort. They're well coached. Mark Boniz is one of the best coaches in the area, most underrated coaches. He got this team to a state championship game last year. Don't think that's going to happen, but this Holy Cross train is just choo-chooing along, and they're going to choo-choo their way past Brother Martin. 38-31. Tigers. Holy Cross wins.
You guys got to understand why they scheduled Holy Cross for their homecoming games compared to
because they thought they wouldn't be this good.
Yes.
They thought this would be the dormant of the Catholic League. They're not. They're far from it.
Exactly. So, Corday, we just said it. Holy Cross was not a good team last year and the year before for a couple years. So, yeah, they were scheduled for homecoming. This season's been different. It is what it is. So, here we go. Ooh, Reggie says Holy Cross wins 20-10. Whoa.
My boy, you humbled yourself. I'm very impressed. Proud of you. Very proud of you, Reggie.
Man.
Very.
John Ehret at West Jeff. John Ehret. Big.
Name your score on that one. John Ehret. It is going to be not close. Might be the most lopsided win ever in that game. Hate to say.
BK putting the pressure on Reggie Rogers and the Patriots. I've said what about West Jeff for the last month? This is a historically bad football team. They've been on our pick slate here a couple of times. Running clock. I hope it's the slowest clock in the state. I'm sorry. It's Ehret. It's West Jeff. I'm an Ehret grad. Nothing West Jeff does, I don't want. I hope they shut him out. But that's the alumnus in me talking. The analyst in me says they will shut him out. Eric wins by 70.
All right. Coach Hayden coming at me. I hear you, man. I mean, I hear you. I mean,
I see
I know
that.
y'all not scheduling stuff for homecoming no more, but it's cool. It's cool though. It's cool. Make sure you're on the show for the 100 episode. All right.
There you go.
Yes,
October
sir.
25th.
On the 25th. Yes, a couple more weeks. All right, here we go. Let's move on. Up north, Union Parish taking on Sterlington. District matchup. 2 years ago they played for the state championship. Sterlington won. You think Union Parish would have maybe a down year with Trey Holly graduating and going to LSU? I cannot think of the guy's name. If Jordan's still with us, he might know. But this running back leads the state in rushing from Union Parish. I think this is a close game this year. Union Parish by 4.
This is a tough one to pick too. I think this one's going to be very, very close in itself. But I like Sterlington to get it done. We got to, sometimes we got to shake the points up. We got to try to keep things going. But, Union is really, and I'm really, really impressed that Union is continuing to thrive and push on even despite after Trey Holly. But I really like Sterlington, and it's going to be a grinding out game. I wouldn't be surprised to come down to a field goal.
Sterlington toe-to-toed West Monroe a couple of weeks ago. That doesn't look too hot now after what the Rebels did 3 weeks ago. I'm sorry. Then 2 weeks ago, Zachary clobbered West Monroe. And then whatnot. Union Parish, as JB mentioned, Travion Holly going to LSU. You thought, well, they're going to slide back. They're on the horse again. The thing we know about Union Parish is they're in the trenches. Their lines are physical, big, and they will hit you. I'm gonna go Union Parish. I know Sterlington's played the better competition, but I'm going UP on this game.
All right. West Washita got their first loss last week to Washita. Now they got to go to West Monroe. Can West Washita bounce back and beat the Rebels of West Monroe? I say no, West Monroe.
West Washita, thank you for coming to the party. Thank you so much. I really appreciate good effort last week, but you came up short. Now you got to come to West Monroe. Sorry, I'm taking the Rebels.
This is the running back name. Jordan got it from me. Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, that's him.
Jamarian Island. Yes. So you got West Monroe also, VK, IGP?
Yes, West Monroe.
Cool.
Look, West Washita showed you what they were last week. They got destroyed against Washita Parish. It wasn't close. It wasn't close. Rebels, and they will win by 3 touchdowns.
Okay, we all got West Monroe. Even Reggie got West Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Shreveport. This big time showdown. North DeSoto at Evangel. We're talking Denny Duran, who's back as the head coach at Evangel. North DeSoto has Dennis Dunn, who used to coach at Evangel. And they asked Dennis Dunn last year when he beat Evangel. He said, look, I was at that school. I love that school. He said, I love it and I hate playing them. Here we go again. You got to play them again, buddy. They're in your district. In your district. 2 good quarterbacks. Sophomore Luke Delafield and senior at Evangel Peyton Fulgham. But I think North DeSoto once again gets the victory over the Evangel Eagles. I got North DeSoto. Go ahead, VK.
Should be a very good ball game in itself. Should be very entertaining between both of these teams. A lot of history between both of these squads and coaches. But I think the experience, I think Evangels continue to improve each and every week. But I think that experience in North DeSoto is going to continue to shine and make a statement. I got Evangel winning in a close one.
You got Evangel winning?
No, I'm sorry. North DeSoto. North DeSoto.
Okay. All right.
North DeSoto. I had to flip it. North DeSoto. My bad. I said that I did say the Evangel at first. Can keep improving. I forgot to say North DeSoto. So North DeSoto.
We got you. Go ahead, GP.
You know, it used to be that it would be so difficult to pick against Evangel, but then they've had a couple of lean years. Last year was a little bit of a tease. They got into the playoffs and played competitively. Um, this year they're 4-2, but North DeSoto got to the dome last year with youngsters. They were a year older, a year wiser, and they got Dennis Dunn, who knows Evangel like the back of his hand. Nothing's changed there. I'm going North DeSoto as well.
All right. Let's go to the Lafayette area. St. Martinville, 2-4, and I am shocked at that record. I did not see this happening this year, especially with the players that they have. I did not see this happening. They're hosting St. Charles Catholic. I just don't think it's gonna be close. St. Charles Catholic, big.
Are you more surprised the St. Martinsville record being 2-4 or St. Aug being 2-4? That's my question to you.
To be honest, I'm really more surprised. I'm more surprised. That's a good question. If I had to pick one, I would say St. Martinville. I really thought St. Martinville would be that team that can had a chance to go to the dome. And the way it's looking right now, not even close. So I would say more shocked at St. Martinville.
I think St. Martinville will be prepared, ready to go. But St. Charles Catholic is just, straight up rough shotting over everybody right now. They have risen to the occasion and everything else. And I really think St. Charles will get it done. They'll get it done probably by 2 touchdowns.
2? I'm going more than that. Go ahead, GP.
I mean, St. Martinville is desperate. The hype about them in that area was that they were, like you said, JB, a potential sleeper to get to New Orleans, to Pointers. That doesn't seem like it's going to happen. It doesn't feel like it. St. Charles hasn't played a road game in over a month. It's their first trip on the road in 3 weeks, in a month. I don't think it matters. This team, there's one thing that travels, and it's called defense. And that's what the Comets have. St. Charles by 14.
All right. Let's get to our Saturday games. 2 of them. First one, district matchup. Kennedy, 5-1, hosting Livingston, 4-2. Livingston with a big win over Patrick Taylor that jumped them like 4, 5, 6 spots up in the power ratings. Big jump for Livingston. Now they got to try to stop this offense from Kennedy. Can they do it? I got Kennedy over Livingston. VK.
Should be a better game than last year. Should be a much, much better game than last year because Livingston's going to look for payback. So I think Coach Devin is going to have them guys ready to go. It should be a very interesting game. But I think more than anything else that they can't stop 3 offensive. He kept running out.
Oh,
wow.
Man.
Dang, that's
Kenny coming in on UVK.
But I think Kenny might have shown the problem with St. Martinville.
They can't stop.
They might have shown the weakness. Offense can score, but they can't stop nothing. That's crazy.
Oh, damn, coach.
Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. Thank you. but regardless of the fact, I think this game will be very, very close. It'll come down to the 4th quarter. But I think Kennedy's depth that they're building now with the new players that they have added, I think this is a game that everything is going to come together for them. I think Kennedy wins. They'll come up big and win in the 4th quarter. I think Kennedy pulls it out and close.
GP.
This is the kind of game the Cougars need. A Livingston team that clearly was athletically better than Patrick Taylor, and they showed it last week, winning 23-6. This week, it's a different animal. Kennedy's to me the better team. They got the better offense. They got more speed, and I think it's just going to be too much for Livingston. Kennedy by 10.
All right. Last but not least, St. Augustine
Uh-oh.
going to Joe Yenny to take on the Rummel Raiders. I think we're going to see a close ball game. I really do. And from what I'm hearing, Dawson Simmons now being moved to wide receiver, and the sophomore quarterback is getting the start. From what I'm hearing. Now, that being said, Rummel just beat John Curtis in overtime. But Rummel's passing game still ain't where it needs to be. But I'm still going Rummel in a close one. I just still don't know about St. Augustine's offense. I just don't know. And that's been their problem. Offense can't click. I'm going to go Rummel in a close one. I hope I made Coach Hankton happy.
I think this game will be tough. This is going to be a grinding out game, straight grinding out game. Don't be surprised. This could be an all defensive game because of how these defenses have been continuing to improve. St. Aug's been good all year. Rummel's defense has been really good in itself. Rummel, they really woke up after that they lost the show. They've really woke up. Probably one of the biggest victories that Rummel's had in a long time. I know they've been consistent, but they've been kind of lean a little bit. But for them to pull off possibly the biggest upset of the season last week was really huge, especially for Nick Monica. So this could be a very close one, but I think the Purple Knights might get this thing done by a touchdown. I think they'll get it done. It's tough to pick this one. It's tough for me to pick the Purple Knights, but there's something about this game that screams St. Aug might squeeze this one. Might squeeze it. This is one of those type of games when it's a grinded out, and anybody can win this game. I wouldn't be surprised Rummel wins. But at the same time, if this thing stays low scoring, like the car game, remember, St. Aug has been in that type of game, and that could help him in this game. Yes, Corday, if you watched the show last week, I picked them again. I picked against them last week.
Go ahead, GP.
Well, oh boy. How to look at this game? I mean, there's a lot of ways to look at it. There's one I'm going to talk about with St. Aug. I don't like the desperation, that they're going to move, to me, an athletic specimen like Dawson Simmons away from the quarterback position and put that thing into the hands of their sophomore, who we saw play 35 in week 1, and he didn't look that good. Now you're asking this kid to come in a must-win game for the Purple Knights against a Rummel team that knocked off John Curtis last week. And I don't want to hear, yeah, exactly. No kidding, huh? Damn, that's cold-blooded, though. Well, they're going in hard on you, VK.
Nah, they're
Hard.
talking about Corday. They're not talking about me.
About you.
Oh, you.
Oh.
They hitting you, my boy.
It's on the altar.
Brother, they hitting on you. But no, from the Rummel side of things, are they a better football team than they were against Shaw? Yes, they are. Yes, they are because they got humbled the week after against Holy Cross, right? And then they come back and knock off St. Augustine. I mean, not St. Augustine. John Curtis. What am I saying? Come on, G. I could go real savage right now and just say to all you St. Aug alumnuses, Daddy's here, and that's Rummel, and they're gonna show it again. Raiders by 7.
Ooh, all right. All right. Before we go, I want to touch on this very, very quickly, guys. Very quickly. So once again, there was another shooting. Now this one wasn't on the campus of the high school, but it was on a nearby street, and the game had to be canceled. And now also St. Charles Parish stepped up to the plate, changed their rules of getting into their stadium with bags, and if you're pre-K through 8th grade, you got to be there with a parent, and all high school students with a ticket has to show their ID, and that St. Charles Parish is also going to have the hand wands, or they're going to have metal detectors. So they're stepping it up. But I said this before, early in the year when we had the shooting at the Port Allen game, and we had one at St. Helena not too far after that. Every high school football stadium needs to have metal detectors, and they need to have patrolmen patrolling around the stadium. We need to keep high school football a safe haven for us to go to. And we're having too many shootings that are happening. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. Every parish, local government, state government need to step up and make this better to where all families and friends can enjoy Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights of high school football. VK.
It's just, I just continue to pray from, Corday, thank you for saying that. I say the same thing. I'm continuing to pray for my city. I left this state for a while. I came back home. I knew, and it was just in the beginning when I left that kids were starting to act a fool, running around, all kind of stupidness. But now it done got worse, especially before I got back. And now it done took it to a whole nother level that we didn't want to see. And it's ridiculous. And it's getting worse by the day. It shouldn't even be like this at all. It's nuts. And I don't understand that at all, period. And I'm not going to say that no more. I'm not going to say this no more. I'm like, parents, you know what to do. You know what to do. Kids, you know what to do. All y'all know what to do. It's nothing hard about it. If you're just gonna come out here, if you're not coming out here to support these kids, or maybe talk to people, congregate, have a good time, and all that, and you're here to cause trouble, it's more ridiculous that you hear about shootings, but then at certain games over at stadiums, they're shooting dice and all this other stuff, and it's like, what is really going on? Like their attention spans are everywhere else instead of just being in the game or just, talking amongst yourselves and having fun with your friends. I mean, everybody doing too much, all the risk and all that stuff. It's unbelievable. I mean, come on, folks. We got to stop. Y'all got to stop. Y'all really do. And I'm like this. Don't come out here with all that weak stuff. Don't come out here with this stupidness, this beef. Don't come out with all that, bro. Just, bro. Stay home. Don't come out here. Just don't come out here. Just stay home, dog. That's all I gotta say, bro. It's just too much for anybody, and it's too much for me. I love this sport. I love local football. I love high school football as much as I love all the rest of these sports in the state of Louisiana. We have to do better, period.
GP.
Well, I don't know where to start. I can say this: the three of us have been to many a high school game now together. But even in our younger years, what was it? Our parents used to drop us off and hang out with our friends at the games on Friday nights. It was the place to be. You didn't have to worry about punks with guns coming up there emptying clips because they thought they were badass. They're not. You used to go there and you enjoyed the game, get your little, get your little burger or whatnot or whatever your taste buds desired, and watch your school play. Now you got to look over your shoulder. And me, I work in law enforcement. You guys know this. But last Friday night, we were in Vacherie, myself and VK, to do the game for St. James and LCCP for TSBNsports.com. Exactly. Yeah, that's for another show. That could take a whole show to
Not that
do.
we condone violence, but yeah, whatever, just having a fight, one lose, one win. But go ahead, GP.
Best man win, yeah. But no, I was saying last Friday night, and I was in the color analyst seat last Friday, and it was a great broadcast. And I was reading scores, and I saw post canceled Houndville Thibodeau, and I'm like, and I looked at Vicky, and I was like, this is strange. We were on the air doing the game, and I was like, we're gonna have to look into it. And I was scouring all kind of stuff, and then when we finished, we wrapped up. We go to the field house, which they fed us on Friday night, which we thank you, St. James, for your hospitality. But they and we found out that there was a shooting. VK went, and I think, what was it? Yeah, we had to turn some stuff into the St. James coaching staff, and VK come outside and told me, he said, George, there was a shooting at this game that you gave updates on. I was like, no way. And then I said, okay, let me go to Twitter. And sure enough, one of our dear friends, Lori Lyons, her husband, Marty Luquette, was at the game supporting his son. And they were under bleachers for 3 hours until they got the all clear to leave. That's not a position I want none of us to be in. 3 hours under bleachers waiting on some maniac with a gun. You don't know what the hell's going on. It's extremely disturbing, and I maintain this position. You want to come to the game carrying a gun? I'm not condoning violence, but I already know I'm already sizing you up. Whoever you are, whatever you are, you ain't much without that piece. Promise. And look, we do these games every Friday. Thursday. We're going to be together Thursday night at Mount Bernalino in Kenner. I can't say. I can only tell you this. Maybe it's a natural thing for me to look over and just look around, be around, look at our surroundings. It's like, damn it, what if, and I hate this what if. It kills me because, we love what we do, the three of us, the passion that we show, with the show and with the games. But now with the specter of 2 shootings in 6 weeks, 2 with 1 fatality. That's the one in Port Allen in week 1.
St.
It
Helena.
makes no damn. What's that?
St. Helena.
No, it's not Bruley Port Allen.
That was
Bruley Port Allen.
that was actually the day before, during the school day, before practice started.
Yeah, that wasn't the game. The game in reference was Bruley Port Allen, and a 15-year-old kid got killed, and they have the suspect. You're good.
Yeah, the Port Allen, I know. Yes,
it's good, but that's too many. And for someone who's proud to be in the position that I'm in law enforcement, it's like, damn, why? This is our sanctuary. This is what we do. This is my break from the job that I have. This is my break. Being with you guys, doing this and going to games together. This is like getting away from the stresses and just hanging out with my best friends, which I think of the both of you in that regard. But under the spectrum of what if? I hate what ifs. I mean, I don't want to think that, but how can you help it, guys? How can you help it? Walk on the sideline or be in the booth, and it's like, man, you don't know who the hell's carrying something. You just hope like hell security does their job. And you know what, St. Charles Parish, way to step up. The whole state needs to do the same thing. Every corner, 64 parishes, 63 parishes now, because St. Charles has already done it. The rest of you, in the words of VK, step your game up. Let's go.
And I think JP has been doing that all year as well. We're doing the metal detectors they step a bit, and they very anal on the bags and all that stuff.
Don't you know? Don't you know?
Yes. Yes. Good.
I'll be.
Oh yeah, good thing. I need to go purchase one of them bags tomorrow because, like I said, when Thursday come around, I already know what's going on with that.
Oh man! All right, guys, let's end this. It's been 2 hours we've been on, so let's go ahead and end this. Everybody, tomorrow, 2 guests tomorrow. We have the head coach of the Riverside Rebels, Coach Lee Roussel. He's going to join us at 8 o'clock. And then at 8:45, Coach Eric Franklin of Lake Charles College Prep. He's going to join us. We had Coach Brock Matherne tonight of St. Louis Catholic. We thank him for joining us as his team will take on Eric Franklin's Lake Charles College Prep. So, Lake Charles is on the map. Finally on the Hash It Out show. So we got a big show for you all tomorrow. Please come back. Please tune in. Other than that, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all take care. VK, GP. See y'all. Take care, everybody. Later.
Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Thank you for watching the Hash It Out show. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.